All right, we are going to do an NAT. So that is Neuro-Auricular technique. And it wakes the brain up. I like to use it if I'm really tired, if I've got a lot of fog, I just need a little boost. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a little bit of white angelica. I do that anytime that I'm going to be working on someone, doing raindrop or any kind of energy work, this or anything. I think that's a good thing. But the thing is, it protects us from negative energies. It protects people we're working on. So it's just a really good thing to do. I actually love using it every day. So we've got 6 different oils that we're going to use here. And what the idea of the NAT is that we're going to work on the occipital ridge here at the base of the skull and the locus coeruleus, or the medulla, that is right here, that soft spot right there at the base of the skull. And then we're going to also work up the spine in this area. And so you'll see that I'm going to demonstrate what that looks like. There are some oils, particular oils that we use, and we're going to start with frankincense. So I'm going to drop some frankincense here, right on that area. And I've got, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 drops. And then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to just do the same thing. And I'm going to just rub that in because we're going to go along the spine. That's our focus. Okay. So it's a really simple technique, and the benefit is massive. So I'm taking the probe, I've got a glass probe, and I'm just taking the end of it and I'm going to put it here. Jody, is that pressure okay? Okay, so you just want to make sure it's not too much pressure. This is a very delicate area of the body. And I'm just going to do some circles. So I'm not moving the tip of the probe, I'm moving my hand and the end of the probe. And then after I've done that a few times, I'm going to just go over here to the occipital ridge, that bony part at the base of the skull. And I'm going to do, with the probe, just some side-by-side strokes. Just back and forth, and then back to that center indentation, medulla. And then I'm coming over the other side on the occipital ridge and doing a couple of chips. I don't know what the right word is to call that. And then back to the center again. Then I'm going to go up to the spine because we want to make sure that we get this area. So like along the shoulder blades, that can kind of be your guide. If you go right about that area. And then what I do is we're going to find the vertebra and we're going to go in between 2 with the probe. So we find that, we'll just go in between and we're just going to rock the probe and it's going to come forth toward me. And then I'm going to move to the next one, back and forth toward me. And just again, not a lot of pressure. Is the pressure okay? She's going to tell us. I always like to have some V6 on hand just in case anyone ever gets a little bit too warm or oil gets in an area of the body where it's sensitive. The neck can be really sensitive, but the oils we're using today are not considered hot oils, so that's unlikely that that will happen. Okay, so I went all the way in between each vertebra. Now I'm back to the medulla. I'm going to do those circles again. Just 3 or 4 or 5. Now I'm coming back up to the spine again. We're kind of looking at the shoulder blades as our guide, and then I'm going to find that spot again where the spine is, where the vertebra is, and I'm going to go in between, and we're going back and forth instead of up and down. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. We're not going in between. Sorry. We're going right beside it, and we're just rocking back and forth. So remember, sorry, I said that. We're going back and forth. Now we're going to do one, then we're going to go to the other side and do the other. Kind of like lacing your shoes. I like to look at it like I'm lacing shoes. And again, the pressure is not hard, but we're just rocking back and forth. And the probe is staying in place. I'm just moving my hand. So right beside the vertebra. Out beside it, we're not on top of it. We are never working right on top of it. Remember before we were going in between, out to the side, And just going to work our way back up to that medulla area. Gets a little slick. Then we're doing this. And then I'm going to just stretch. So if Jody, if this is too much pressure, just let me know. But I'm just going to stretch a little bit. And that actually feels amazing. Like, just feels amazing. And you want to lock your fingers in so that you don't slide and pull their hair, because that's not amazing. That's uncomfortable. Okay, so that's the first oil. Now we're going to do that again. This time that we were using frankincense first. Start with frankincense. This time we're using vetiver. Now the next oil that we're going to use, the third oil that I'm going to demo, is Valerian or vetiver, and I'm going to put it in my pocket to help warm that up, because it's a really thick oil, and sometimes it takes a little while to come out of the bottle because it is so thick. Okay, so we're going back to that soft spot at the base of the skull, the medulla, and then doing those circles. Now we're going over to the occipital ridge and just rocking back and forth, moving over a bit, back and forth, back and forth. Now back to the medulla for those clockwise circles. And the other side, rocking back and forth. Remember, we're keeping the probe in place and just moving our hand in the top of the probe. Okay, and then back to the medulla. Now we're going to come back up here to the spine, and we're going in between the vertebrae. And we're rocking toward us, back and forth toward us. And go right about to the shoulder blade, the bottom of the shoulder blade, to start that. Again, we're staying off of the vertebra. We're just going in between and rocking. So we're just telling those nerves in there to wake up, helping to wake them up and get them activated so that we just feel a little bit more energetic, feel a little more focused. Circles, again, a few of those. Then we're coming back up. And the circles need to be clockwise. I don't know if I said that the first time. And we're going side to side and side to side, right beside the vertebrae. Side to side, side to side. So you can see it's a pretty basic technique, but it's powerful. Really, really powerful. Side to side, side to side. Say hello, brain. How are you today? Waking up? Side to side. And then another circle. I'm going in clockwise motion, and then I'm going to give her a good stretch. Now I do that 3 times, 3 of those stretches. Okay, so we're going to continue on with the other oils. We've got vetiver, Roman chamomile, cedarwood, and sandalwood. Those you do the exact same thing with all of the oils each and every time.